In this video, I will be going to explain you runnable branch. Runnable branch is used where conditional logic is supposed to be implemented. So runnable branch is used to make conditional chains like if-else statements you have seen in Python. So let me explain you with one example. You get customer feedback and you pass it to LLM, and then LLM will decide whether the sentiment is positive or sentiment is negative. So that will be decided by LLM. So if the sentiment of the customer is positive, then you have to appropriately reply for that positive feedback. And if the sentiment is negative, then you have to also appropriately reply, we are sorry to hear that you have issues with the product, and our customer care team will be in contact with you and try to resolve your problem, something like that. So you have to give appropriate reply if the feedback is negative. So you see, this is a condition you have. If the LLM is positive, then different reply you have to give. If the LLM result is negative, you have to give different reply. So these are different conditions. It is like if-else statement. If this condition is true, then do this. If this condition is true, then do that. So in those kind of situations, you can go for runnable branch. So I will try to implement this. So first what I will do, I will be going to create a template, and this template will be passed to LLM, and to this template I will pass the feedback of the customer. Then what LLM will decide? LLM will decide the sentiment, and you see the sentiment can be positive or negative. To make sure I should get the proper sentiment, I will this time use Pydantic parser. To make sure I will get the correct value, so that LLM will not give me any other value other than positive or negative. So I should get the correct value. So I will use the Pydantic parser. After that, I will create the branch using the runnable branch, and if the sentiment is positive, then you see I will be going to give the appropriate response, and if the sentiment is negative, then you see I will give the different response. So that will also be the appropriate response, but based on the negative sentiment. So this kind of practical I will be going to show you. So I will go to this runnable branch, and here I already have imported a few classes, and if you notice, this time I have imported Pydantic output parser also from LangChain_core.output parser, and from LangChain_runables I have imported runnable branch and runnable lambda. Fine. In this case, I am using the Pydantic output parser, so I will write from Pydantic I am importing base model and field. Also, I want the literal, which is positive or negative. So for that, I will use typing and import the literal from typing. So that's it. So these are the classes and functions which are needed, and I am using this model, and I am quickly building a parser which is a string parser. So it is just string output parser. So one is a string output parser I have created. Now I will create a class. Let's say the name of the class is sentiment analysis class, and you see it will inherit the base model. Then I will be going to create an attribute called sentiment attribute, and it will have only two values. Let's say it can have a positive value or negative value. So these two values it can have. Then you see I will be going to write field, and I will be going to give the description inside the field. So description will be the sentiment of this field can either be positive or negative, or I should say the sentiment of this attribute can either be positive or negative based on customer feedback. So my class is created. Now what I will do, I will create a pydantic parser. So I will call is pyd parser. That will be equal to, I am calling this pydantic output parser class, and inside it I have to pass pydantic object. So here the pydantic object is equal to sentiment analysis, which is my class name here, which is inheriting the base model. So my string parser is ready and my pydantic parser is also ready. So up to now all good. Now I will be going to create a template using the prompt template, and I will say template is equal to, and here I will be going to write the description, give the sentiment of the following feedback. Okay, so I will be going to pass a feedback. So I will say a new line and I will create a variable called feedback. So the feedback I will provide later, and I want in some format. So here I will put FMT. So that format will be pydantic format. So you have to take care of this. And after this, you see input variable will be format variable and partial variable will be represented in the form of dictionary, and here the variable is FMT. This is the name of the variable, so I copy it and here in single quotes paste it, and its value will be from pydantic parser. So I will say pydantic parser object. So actually this is the name of the object of pydantic parser, then dot get format instructions. So it will return the output in pydantic format. After this I will create a chain, and that will be equal to template, then it will be separated by a pipe sign. The next thing is my model, and after that it will be separated by a pipe sign, and then I will use the parser, which is pydantic parser. So my chain is ready and it will return me the pydantic output. So what I will do now, I will just simply say chain dot invoke, and you see in this I will be going to pass the, here sorry I have not written feedback, I have written format. So this is wrong, so I just change this input variable to feedback, and here I will be going to pass this feedback while invoking the chain. So here I will pass the feedback, and the value of the feedback is, let's say I am happy with the product, something like that I am writing, and that will be the result, and I will be going to print the result. So I will write print result. So let's run this and see what kind of output I get. So this is the input which I am giving to this template. Give me the sentiment of the following feedback in a particular format, so in the pydantic format. So you see what it has returned me, LLM has returned me sentiment as positive. So this is what I have got. So this is the pydantic output. Similarly, if I write I am not happy with the product and run it, so it has given sentiment as negative. Now you see here I got the response like sentiment equal to positive, sentiment equal to negative. If I want only this text positive or negative, I just need to write result dot sentiment, because it's a pydantic output, So if you just want to get this text, positive text or negative text, you have to just write result.sentiment. So if I run this, so this time it will just give me positive, not sentiment equal to positive. It will just give me positive or negative because it's a negative statement. And if I remove this and run it, it will be going to give me the positive, not sentiment equal to positive. So hope you understand this here. But right now I don't need these two lines. I'm commenting these two lines here because I have to further build my chain and I need to use runnable branch. So basically I have created a template. Then I passed to LLM. I created the sentiment using Pydantic output parser, and if the sentiment is positive, then you see I have to give the different response, let's say response 1, and if the sentiment is negative, I have to give the different response. So now you see till this point I have already done. Now I have to create this using runnable branch. Now before implementing this runnable branch, I have to create two more templates. So one template I will create for the positive sentiment and one template I will create for the negative sentiment. So let me just comment this two lines. So here I am creating template underscore positive and I will call prompt template, and template is equal to, so because this template I'm creating for positive feedback, so ask customer for review on mobile app as well because customer sentiment is positive. So I will just here pass response, I'll put comma, and input variables will be response. So here in the response, sentiment equal to positive will be passed. Similarly, I can create a negative template. So here I will say template equal to negative. So here I will say reply customer politely and tell customer that customer care will respond you, because customer response is negative, and here you see sentiment equal to negative will be passed in this variable. So like that I have created two prompts. So now what I will do, I will be going to create a branch. So here I will be going to write branch chain, and in this I will be going to use the runnable branch, and in this runnable branch I will create multiple tuples. So here tuple 1 for condition 1, then tuple 2 for condition 2, and if you have more conditions then you can create more tuples. Then you see there will be a default case also. So in the tuple 1 what will happen, there will be one condition which can be the true or false, then you see you will have a runnable. In the same way here you will have a condition 2. Let's say if this is condition number 1, then this will be condition number 2, and here you will have some different runnable. So let's say this is runnable 2 and that will be runnable 1. And if both the conditions are not satisfied, then you can do some default coding here. So you can perform some default operation here if both the conditions are not satisfied. So what is a condition here? Either the sentiment can be positive or negative. So if the sentiment is positive, I will be going to write lambda x and x dot sentiment is double equal to positive. So you see why I have written x dot sentiment, why not x equal to positive? The reason is that because the whole pydantic object will be passed to x. So the sentiment equal to positive, the whole thing will be passed here. So you are just interested in x dot sentiment. So x dot sentiment will be either be positive or it will be negative. So if it is positive, then positive is double equal to positive. So this condition will be true. So this condition will be true, then this runnable will work. Otherwise, it will check the second condition. So let me write the runnable here. So here the runnable will be template positive, then model will be executed, then string parser will be executed because I just want the text portion of the result. In the same way, I just copy the whole code and paste it here as well. I just change it a little bit. Here you see, if the sentiment is negative, then you see you have to use the negative template because this time you have to tell the customer care will reply you, and in the first case you promote the customer that they give the review in the mobile app also. Instead of review on mobile app, I can say review for mobile app, so that will be better. You are asking that your mobile app is very good, so you want a response, a feedback for that. And another one is you are saying that customer care will call you or respond you. Okay, and after this there will be a default condition. Let's say if the sentiment is neither positive or negative, although I have used the pydantic method, so either it will be positive or negative. Okay, if it is anything else you will get the error because pydantic will fail it. If suppose you get a sentiment as neutral here, so pydantic will not allow sentiment as neutral because it will fail it. So you include one more literal here, neutral, and you can say the sentiment of this attribute can either be positive or neutral or negative. So I included now three conditions, and what I will do now, if the output is neither positive or negative, let's say it returns neutral, then I would say it's a wrong input. I'm not making separate template for neutral. I will just say it's a wrong output. That's it. So to return the wrong output, what I have to do, I have to call a function. So here I just want to return wrong output. That's it. So I may create a function which will be going to return this wrong output. And this function I have to use it in the runnable branch. So this function has to be runnable. So I can put it under runnable lambda so that it can fit into the runnable branch. Because the normal function cannot be fit into the chains of runnables. So you have to make this function runnable by using runnable lambda. So here what I will do, I will create this function directly here and make it a lambda function. So here I will say lambda x and I will just return wrong output. That's it. So instead of creating a function, I just quickly create a lambda function and I will put this function into a runnable. So here whatever the sentiment is passed, if it is not positive, if it is not negative, if it is something else, it will always return wrong output. Because this function, it's a lambda function, I have to convert it into runnable lambda so that it will be fit into the other runnables. So here I will write runnable lambda. So you see my branch is ready. So you see, this is one chain and this is another chain. This is a branch chain and this is the sequential chain. So here is my sequential chain and here is my branch chain. I will be going to link both of them to make a final chain. So what I will do now, I will be going to write final chain that will be equal to chain separated by a pipe symbol, and I will be going to call it as branch chain. Then you see, I will write result equal to final chain. Here I have to put underscore between final chain, so here I will call it as final chain dot invoke, and you see, I will be going to pass this feedback that I am not happy with the product, and I will be going to print the result. So let's see what will happen. So when I will pass this value to the feedback variable, so it will first go in the beginning. So it will go here to this template. Give me the sentiment of the following feedback. So here the feedback is I am not happy with the product. So obviously the sentiment will be negative. So this sentiment model will return and then I will pass this. So you see, after parsing it will return me sentiment equal to positive or sentiment equal to negative. So this kind of output this particular chain will be going to return me. After that, this chain is finished. Now branch chain will be called. When the branch chain will be called, because the sentiment is positive, then this condition will be satisfied. And then you see this template positive will ask for a review because the sentiment is positive. But if you see the sentiment is negative, then this particular template will be called, and here you have to politely reply to the customer that customer care will respond you back. And if both the conditions are not there, then just display wrong output, and after that you will get a result. So the result can either be from this side or this side, so it will vary based on my feedback. So let's run this command. I just first clear the screen. Now I run this code. So here it is saying, dear customer, thank you for reaching out to us. We apologize for any inconvenience. Our customer team will respond you shortly. Thanks for understanding. So this kind of output it has returned. And if I write I am happy with the product and run it, so you see now this time this chain will be called, and it is saying we are thrilled to hear you the positive experience, and if you could kindly take a moment to leave a review with us, it will be a great the feedback. So it has not given the way I want. I have to change the prompt a little bit because I was interested in the feedback of the mobile app, so it didn't understand my thoughts well. Anyways, I can change the prompt a little bit, but I hope you get the idea what I want to say. And if suppose by chance if you get a neutral, then it will be going to return me the wrong output. So hope you understand this example. So in this way, runnable branch can be implemented.